Have you ever wondered what would make a man deeply respect you? Not just pay attention to you, but to admire you. We all obviously want that, right? We want men to respect us. We want everybody to respect us. But when it comes to respect in the context of relationship and men, it is something that they need in order to fall in love and to be able to commit to that relationship. So if you want a real commitment, you want to get engaged, you want to get married, you need to know what makes a man feel that kind of a respect for you to make that type of commitment to you. So if you're ready, I'm going to be giving you 5 traits that men deeply respect in women. Okay? So let's dive in. First up is genuine respect for other people. This is not often talked about, but men pay attention to the way you treat other people. Whether it is a stressed out cashier, or you are in a party, or even in a gathering with his family, the way that you're speaking to his mom, to his family members, he's paying attention to you, because respect to a man is one of the ways that he falls in love and he feels loved. So, what I mean by that is that he's observing how you're interacting with other people, because he knows the way that you're treating other people is ultimately going to be the way that you're going to be treating him. The way that you're talking about other people is going to be ultimately the way that you talk about him to your friends. So if you're being snarky, if you're belittling other people, if you are, even if it's behind their back and you're telling him, he's going to think that you're going to do the same thing to him, and he does not like that. So this is super important. I remember in one of our first dates, early dates with my husband, we were at a coffee shop, and the girl that was working there, it was her first day. And she seemed stressed out. Obviously, it's your first day. And I made a point to tell her, you're doing a really great job. And later on, my husband told me, I really like that. You were really kind to her, and it showed me who you really are. Because respect is literally that. It's a mirror. It's showing him who you really are inside. So being respectful towards other people, making sure that you don't use language that belittles them, and you're kind, you're extending kindness to them, is going to leave a lasting impression on him, and he needs that in order to respect you. Being respectful towards other people shows him who you really are, the depth of who you are. And the other thing that is going to do that is trait number 2, which is emotional maturity. I cannot tell you how much men respect a woman that is able to show emotional intelligence. And what that means is that it's not that you don't have emotions, that you are just okay with everything and you're calm and cool in every scenario. No, that's not it. But it's about you not being reactive, you not going into drama, into blaming, into shaming, into storytelling drama. So you're not a drama queen, but you're the queen of handling your emotions. Just imagine this scenario. For example, you are running late for an event together. Whoever was late is making the two of you be late, and you're in the car and there's traffic. Now, are you going to express your feelings or breathe through your feelings, or are you going to go into, oh my God, we're running so late, maybe you should take that road, or it's all your fault, or all that stuff that makes the situation even more stressful? That's what I mean by being a drama queen and not having or demonstrating emotional intelligence. Learning how to manage your emotions, learning to be able to navigate them without suppressing them and without spilling them all over the place is something that makes a man feel deeply respect for you, because he knows that a life with you is going to be full of ups and downs. He knows that there's going to be stressful situations in life. So when he's picturing the rest of his life with you, he wants to see whether or not he can trust you. That when things happen that are hard, are you going to lose it? Are you going to put all the burden on him, or are you going to be solution oriented? Are you going to be a partner when things are stressful? So being able to navigate your emotions without reactivity is huge. One of the things that I have worked with a lot of women that we work on very diligently, because a lot of women make this mistake is that when something goes wrong in the relationship or when they're dating someone, from that feeling of frustration, they overreact and they break up with a guy. They threaten to break up with a guy and they don't really mean it. The truth is that that's just the state of their emotions is making them make decisions or say things that they don't mean because they haven't regulated and they are not making that decision from a regulated nervous system. And when they do that, when they have that emotional outburst, they actually really damage the relationship, because a man is going to think that this is the way it's going to be. Every time something goes wrong, she's going to be threatening me, she's going to want to get out of the relationship, and that shows me no emotional maturity, and I do not respect that, and I do not want to commit to that. So working on emotional maturity or emotional intelligence is going to be a game changer for the way that you navigate your emotions and obviously your relationships. Not only it's going to make men have a lot more respect for you, but it's also going to make you navigate life with so much more grace and ease, and it's really good for you. So I highly recommend it. By the way, if you're loving these tips, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I upload weekly videos to help you find the love of your life and be in a happy, healthy, romantic relationship that keeps on thriving over time. Now, let's shift gears and talk about trait number 3, which will directly impact the way that a man treats you and obviously respect you. And that is having boundaries and standards. These are the ways that you're telling the world, this is the blueprint, how I want to be treated, how I want to be loved. And it should be a no-brainer that the way that the world treat us is the way that we treat ourselves. No man is ever going to treat us better than the way we treat ourselves and the way that we accept that treatment. So oftentimes I have these incredible clients, high achieving, incredible women, that when it comes to their relationship, they lower their standards. They start to accept poor behavior from a man. Because why? Because they think that if they do have these standards, they're going to be considered as high maintenance and a man is going to lose interest. When in fact, a man will only lose interest when you show him that what you want and what you need doesn't matter. That you would put his liking you before what you need in a relationship. And when you do this, he automatically starts to lose respect for you. So, knowing the ways that you feel respected in a relationship, the things that are a limit for you, the things that you don't want to do in different stages of a relationship. So, for example, if physical intimacy is not something that you want to start early on in a relationship, and it's a no for you, but when you really find yourself physically attracted to a man, he asks you to come over, you don't want to say no, because what if he doesn't want to see you again? So you go over and he tries to push your boundaries, and then you just go along with it. And by doing that, you're telling him that what you want is more important than what I want. What matters is for you to get your need met, but my boundaries that I had expressed before, really, I just said them to say them, but I didn't mean them. And when you start to break your own word, when you start to tolerate the things that you said you don't want, you cannot expect a man to start to have respect for you. You can't expect him to treat you better than what you are tolerating. So really taking the time to see what are your boundaries, what are the deal breakers for you, what are the things that you expect in a relationship, and being able to then express that to a man is really important, because a high value man is going to find that not only high maintenance, but it's something that makes him feel attracted to you, feel more drawn to you, and definitely have more respect for you, and feel like this is the type of woman that knows her worth, and I can see that, I can feel it, and I respect it. Now, what happens when you combine boundaries and standards with having a life that you love? That brings us to trait number 4, which is having passion and a full life. Nothing is more magnetic than a woman that already loves her life and is now inviting that new love into her life as a cherry on top. Men do not respect women that need saving, meaning that they are living a life that they don't love, they don't have passion, they don't have purpose, but they are looking for a man to come and be their passion, be their purpose. It's not attractive, it's not respectful. A man who is the caliber of the guy that you want wants a woman that is madly in love with her own life. I'm not talking about you being independent and say, I don't need you, I don't need any man. Sure, you don't need a man, but there's a difference between not needing a man and wanting a man to come join the beautiful life that you already love. So, having that in mind, that being a woman that needs saving or trying to play out being that girl, please don't do that, because I know you're not. You don't need any man to save you. But sometimes we play that role. We act like these helpless little girls that Prince Charming is going to come and save me. That's for Disney, not for you. Disney princesses needed that, but that's not what real romance, what real men in this world want from a woman. They want a woman that is not going to make him the center of her life. They don't want to be your purpose. They don't want to be your passion. They want to come and join you in a life that you already madly love. And so it lifts the burden off of them. Now they don't feel obligated that they need to come and do something to make you happy. Now they have the choice to come and give to you. They have the choice to woo you when you don't need it. It makes a big difference. It's only the type of men that are they actually are not very healthy, emotionally healthy, that they want a woman that is obsessed with them. They want a woman that validates their being. And those men tend to be very controlling, by the way. So I cannot stress enough that you don't want a guy like that, and you don't want to be available and act like you're that girl, because that will attract those type of guys. The kind of guys that you want, the healthy masculine energy men and that respect you and adore you, are the type of guys that want to see you in love with your own life, having passion, having purpose. So if you need to work on that, start working on that, because that is a deal breaker for a lot of men. If they see you having nothing else going on in your own life and waiting for a man to come and complete your life, that's not what they're looking for. Finally, we are at trait number 5, and I honestly think it's the most important one. It was the game changer for me. So, if you're anything like how I used to be in relationships, this is going to be really important to listen to. And that is being authentically who you are. You may have heard this before, but being a people pleaser is one of the things that I almost work with 80 or 90% of my clients, and I used to really suffer from it. This comes from us wanting to be loved so badly that we kind of lose ourselves. We want to make sure that the guy that we likes us. So we go along with everything that he says he thinks that it's cool, and we pretend to be interested in those things, or we kind of ignore things that we don't like because we're afraid that he's not going to be happy with it. And so I want to bring that up and make sure that you understand that if you're not being who you are, how can he possibly respect you? And you think that he wouldn't know. And I used to be this great actress. I used to think that no man could ever tell that I am just being going along. They just think that I'm a nice girl. But even if they didn't know that I was pretending, they would always feel like something is off because energy never lies. Your energy never lies. Your words, the way that you say things and you're acting, you may be great at it, but there is this frequency of telling him that there is something off here and they can spot it. And no man has respect for a woman that doesn't want to be who she is. Why would he respect a woman who doesn't want to be who she is? So I really want to encourage you to work on owning who you are. All of us obviously are on the path of evolution and learning and becoming the greater version of ourselves, but that doesn't mean that we have to pretend being interested in things that we are not, or acting like we're okay with something when we're not. So being learning and being authentically yourself, owning it and believing that that is enough is going to make a man feel a lot of respect for you. And the absence of that is going to do exactly the opposite. He's going to lose respect and he's not going to want to have anything to do with you. So let's make sure that your people pleasing tendencies are not running your love life, that you work on it. I had to, and I overcame it, and I know you can as well. These five traits are not just the keys for a man to respect you, but it also makes him to fall for you and want to commit to you. So I want you to start embodying them right away. And if you don't know how, I have this incredible membership for you where you will have access to a wall of programs that I have created over the last 7 years. I've dedicated all of my time to helping women to be able to attract the love of their lives and have happy, harmonious relationships. And just recently, we celebrated engagement number 200 in my community. And this is all thanks to my program. So there is a variety of programs, whether you are struggling with anxious attachment style, for example, there's a program there for you. It's called She Rises in Love, that deals with that. Not just that, with avoidant attachment, all sorts of in that area, the help that you can get. Or if communicating with men is a struggle with you, you always find yourself that conversations with men, even though you think they go great, but after a date or two, they ghost you. The problem is possibly is that you're not speaking to a man's heart. You're not evoking that attraction in the ways that you are being in that relationship, on that date, and it makes him not be interested even though it felt great. So magnetic scripts inside the masterpiece house is going to be a game changer for you. There's so many. I want you to check it out. This is a month to month membership, so there is no long term commitment, so you can get inside and see for yourself. And the great thing about it is that we also have a community on Telegram, so you could come to the Telegram and say, hey, this is my situation, and I'm going to tell you exactly what program is going to be helpful for you, even if you're already in a relationship. And you want to spice things up, if you want to revamp your relationship, reignite his passion, there are programs for you in there as well. So check it out. The link is in the description, and I will see you in the next one.